aggressively attacking. Oh, that's it! It's all over! Stipe Miocic is the new UFC heavyweight champion!
And then he clinches. Exactly what you gotta do.
Oh, yeah!
Walk into this building and watch the heavyweight disasters from the beginning. Nagano's a piece of shit. Miocic's a piece of shit.
When did they announce Stipe Jones? Did I miss it?
I missed it.
It was like the other day, Dana White did a thing in front of the Power Slap billboard. And was like, guys, here's the news you want to hear. And was like, oh, it's going to be some Power Slap shit. And no, it wasn't. It was Jones versus Stipe. It was like, it's finally happening. It's because Ariel Helwani was like, hey guys, Ngannou Fury's happening. I've got good sources.
We have to quickly get this shot then.
Yeah, it's coming soon. And Dana was like, get me in front of a billboard.
Power Slap.
Yeah, Power Slap billboard with my Power Slap shirt.
You've got two of the best of all time GOATs in two weight classes fighting, and you can't make a promo for that and put it on International Fight Week? Why didn't they make a video, Tom? Why didn't we see a video?
I think it always comes down to the continuous conversation that we have. They're just so fucking busy. They got shit to do. What they got next
They've got
week?
to promote Holly Holm, the greatest fight ever, Bueno Silva.
Here's a controversial question for the both of you lads. Is Stipe Miocic the right heavyweight test for John Jones right now?
Well, who else is there, Tom?
Well, clearly what they're doing is Jones is going on his heavyweight legacy tour, or however short that's going to be, because it's what, Stipe. That's the last kind of real legend.
And then he can retire.
Then he can retire if he wants to. So maybe that is the case. But surely Jones comes out as a massive favourite in that fight. What really throws me a fucking loop every time I rewatch DC Stipe 2 and 3, why the fuck did he not wrestle?
Yeah.
Why did he not wrestle?
Yeah, it's true.
What is going on? Yeah, I mean, you got an epic knockout in that first one, and maybe he was just like, oh, this is sick. I've knocked out Stipe, one of the best heavyweights of all time, and I love the feeling of knocking this guy out. But why did he not just Anderson Silva him?
He had back problems, right?
So he couldn't wrestle.
I'm pretty sure it's something to do with that. He sneezed and threw his back out, remember? Remember he fell off the chair at the press conference, and we were like, like, oh shit.
It's just like tragic seeing like an Olympic wrestler who maybe got too overconfident in his stand-up in the second fight, not come back to the most important fucking fight of his entire life, in an epic trilogy fight, and not fucking wrestle the guy that could be wrestled.
Did he wrestle much in the first fight, or did it not go that long?
No, I think he just knocked him out.
Yeah. I also feel like Stipe has never really been wrestled, and he's probably because he's a pretty good wrestler himself.
Heavyweight wrestling John Jones is like a really bad problem for literally everyone in that
Submission
division.
wrestler as
Because
well. Right?
nobody does it.
They used to, and they were all boring, so we got rid of
Cain
them.
Velasquez was the most exciting fucking guy ever.
Yeah, okay.
And he was a wrestler.
Okay, like he had
big time
striking.
wrestler. But now you've got John Jones come along, and he's going to just fuck everyone.
Yeah, I think to your point, Tommy, it's not the best fight Jones could have, but it's the one that makes the most sense for like his legacy and like the promotion. Who else? Like, you're not going to fight Sergey Pavlovich, who doesn't really have a name, but can knock you out with just by touching you. So it's like, you would take a 40-year-old Stipe who's just come off like the worst knockout ever and manhandle him within 2 rounds and probably win. Because that's what Jones is just too good. I'm like Volk this weekend. I've done doubting him now.
I don't know, man. Stipe's...
What is Stipe going to do? He couldn't handle Ngannou. He tried to wrestle him again, and Ngannou went, no, sprawled.
He was.
And
I
then just
don't think
beat him up.
Stipe will try and wrestle John. I mean, obviously, it's a super...
So what's he got for Jones?
I
Yeah,
mean,
what can he do?
He can't do nothing.
It's a very difficult fight. What's he got? He's going to have to just outwork him on the inside. Double up on the jab.
Yeah, he does
break
have that
through.
spam liver shot over and over again.
I mean, like I'm not saying he can necessarily do it or he's going to do it easily, but there are like paths to victory. Like navigating the striking arsenal of John Jones as purely a boxer is going to be really difficult.
In the time limit it's taken Jones to get up to heavyweight, whether that was always the plan or it came later than expected, it's like the perfect time for him now to take on the heavyweight GOAT. I don't really remember his performance in the third fight being particularly spectacular. I think DC was worse than Stipe was good.
There was an eye poke in that fight as well that
Yeah, there
changed a
was.
lot.
Yeah,
of it.
really bad one.
We've been given this epic, amazing fucking heavyweight fight with John Jones and Stipe Miocic, and we're just like, Stipe's shit.
Maybe this is why
He's
Dana
so
did
bad.
a backroom promo piece, because he was like, we all know what's going to happen, but tune in November.
Like Stipe's best performances are when he mixes things together. The JDS fights and like the Mark Hunt fights, just where he has the pressure boxing, but the wrestling was a big part in both those fights as well.
I always felt like Stipe, he doesn't look like the great champion he is. like when he moves around the cage, I felt. But
You don't like
he
Stipe
always got
at all,
results.
do you?
I don't like Stipe. I
Yeah.
think he's the most boring champion ever.
Why do you think he's boring?
Because he
then?
fights once a year, and his performances when I saw them weren't particularly great. Doesn't mean I should be so ignorant to not go back and look at his great performances.
It makes sense that you wouldn't care about Stipe because his attitude has always been kind of like, I don't really care. It's like, if you don't give me what I want, then I'm going to go be a fireman.
That went shit on me, dude. I was like, oh my God, you're getting knocked down the first round. Oh my God, he's unbelievable. Well, guess what? That's still mine.
Do you feel like Dana White doesn't respect you?
I don't know. I don't really care.
Speaking of heavyweights, championship gold, didn't you get a little tip off, Tom, about these guys?
I certainly did.
Yeah.
I certainly did. And these boys, they're winning all the gold.
Yeah.
Not only they won the gold at the San Francisco whiskey competition,
Yeah.
but they're also winning double gold at the SIP Awards.
The 2-time.
Exactly.
Just
yeah.
make it look easy.
times,
Champ
yeah,
champs.
exactly,
Just
yeah.
make it look easy.
You can't have a better sponsor than Howler Head, a whiskey that is genuinely out there competing with the best whiskies in the world. And not just competing, but also winning as well.
It's like a really enjoyable flavour. It's not that like such a serious drink all the time, you know? You can drink that neat, no problem as well. That you can just drink that straight out of the bottle.
You could, and Zach's done it because he drank like 2 in one night.
Nice.
2 bottles in one night he drank.
It was that good.
And he woke up the next morning, he was fine. He went for a run.
He won the world title.
He went for a 5k run afterwards.
Yeah.
If you want to go get yourself a bottle, it's out now in the UK at larger Tesco's or on Amazon or at Master of Malt.
And we're gonna find out who is the baddest motherfucker on the planet.
Here's a question, right? The heavyweight division is always supposed to be the baddest man on the planet. It's always supposed to be the division you're most excited about because these guys are bigger and larger than life, massive humans who could theoretically beat anybody. But like, when's the last time you actually felt like the heavyweight was the most like fun to watch or the most engaging or the most important division? Maybe the reason we didn't feel about that with some of the heavyweights is because we had John Jones, who's close to that weight anyway, could make that weight. And he was a guy, maybe because of his existence there, you know, he kind of got that rub.
He absolutely, I think, eclipsed a lot of the guys at that time just because of the epic run that he was on. He just demolished so many of the light heavyweight greats at the time as well, just taking everyone out. But at the same time, you did have Cain Velasquez, JDS were having their battles around about the same time. You know, Anderson Silva was the champion, GSP was the champion. There was that classic lineup of just all the greats together on the stage, and there was just a very eclectic but powerful champion lineup.
Super 7.
The Super 7, yeah. Fedor and
I was
Big
going
Nog.
to say, that's what I say, Pride was
Pride
when it
was an
the
excellent
best.
definition
Yeah.
of like the best heavyweights
Yeah.
in the world. However, could most of those guys drop down to the light heavyweight division? Possibly, maybe not. You know, weight cutting has become such a significant part of the sport now as well. People like Jared Cannonier easily could fight in the heavyweight division, but had zero or very little success in that division, and has cut so much so that he's got down to 185. So perhaps there is a lot more of that going on in the sport, where the big guys come in and go, do you know what? I'm weighing in here at 230, but there is a guy at the top of the division that's cutting weight to make 265. Do I really want to be in a division that ranges between 205 and 265? Or should I do an Alex Pereira and cut to 185 and just immediately beat the champion?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
How much did Francis weigh? Did he
265.
265? He dropped
So
some
yeah,
weight.
there's a prime example of
But-
like someone coming in at top of the range and just decimating people.
Getting back to the question at hand, Jones and Stipe, do you have a more genuine prediction than my scathing Stipe review?
It's really hard to see a way that Stipe can win.
I think that John Jones is going to go in and he's going to utilize what he's been working on in the last 3 years on his move up to heavyweight, which is his fucking weight and his wrestling ability.
Yeah, I mean, and that Garn fight was just all technique as well, innit? It just like it was super easy for him, just like clinch, trip, and then they're just gonna sit on your head.
He doesn't
and
need to
give it
take
you.
damage. You know,
Yeah.
he doesn't.
I think
Jones
that
doesn't
is
need,
a factor as
doesn't
well.
need to take any damage because Jones has been through some utter wars.
And he has
as well.
admitted that before as well.
If you could go into a fight and have the outcome already scheduled for you, would you choose get beaten up to an inch of my life or winning fairly easily by
Look,
taking someone down and choking them
You
out?
can't use that logic though, because plenty of fighters just don't do that, do they?
But they
just
should
do-
though.
Well,
you know,
no,
it's
they
like
want to
Khabib.
fight. Though.
It's just like if people really wanted to be the best fighter in the world, you go to Dagestan and you just live and breathe what Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, but then try telling that to someone, you know, who wants to be exciting or generate hype and interest.
But
by
that's what
knocking
I'm saying.
people
That's
out,
what
you
I'm
know?
saying though. If you just wanted to win, if you just wanted to be as dominant as you possibly could, you would identify that Khabib Nurmagomedov did it better than anyone has ever done it, and you go, okay, I should probably just go do that rather than go, oh, I want to have 50 grand extra for knocking someone out.
Go tell that to, Yoel Romero, who just never took anyone down.
Yoel Romero is the perfect example of a guy who never lived up to an expectation of him. Imagine Yoel Romero as the champion who went on a streak of just obliterating people with his expert wrestling and just disgusting physical attribute. You could put that guy on a poster and it wouldn't matter what he did. He's like taking, and that's the same thing with Habib as well. People can say Habib was boring, but he was still smashing people's faces in and talking to them whilst he was doing it. That was pretty cool.
I still like the one where he's holding the guy's face with one hand, like his chin, and he's just, or is it the elbows? But he's just holding his chin. Right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you coming on through. And we've seen a lot of comments in the videos that some of you want to see the full versions of these little chats, unedited, in their purest form.
You strike me as the type of person that's had sex so much but never improved.
Well, we're happy to say we're going to be releasing these to our channel members or people who join our community. All you need to do is click join down below. You get a bunch of other benefits, access to some other cool stuff inside of things, and you also support us in making new content like this. Our plan is to release 2 of these a week, so if you join, you'll get 2 30-minute podcast episodes a week. So thank you very much for all support on this new podcast stuff, and if you want to see the full thing, go ahead and click join down below.